Morning, welcome to another show. We are here today joining the birds in the woods. It's absolutely a beautiful morning. It's crisp, frosty, cold. The birds have suddenly realised, I think, spring is coming. So yeah, great morning to be out. We're hunting Muntjac. We got a really, really cool guest today for me. These yellow calls here might give it away a little bit. He's a great hunter, fantastic to watch on his channel. As soon as we got out of the car, he was straight into mode. He spotted a fox. He was straight on the sticks on the call. So he's busy over there at the minute. We'll go across and meet him just now. But we've got an exciting day with, we're after some Muntjac, so fingers crossed it all goes to plan. He's a Nordic wild man, and it's Kristoffer Clausen.
That's right, good to meet you, Paul. Yeah, good to be here. Yeah, long time.
Long time, yeah. Well, we first met back, I think it was 2008.
Yeah.
And you come across on a Zeiss media hunt, and it was quite a wacky hunt, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, I think we had a good time.
Yeah, it's great.
And I've seen you from time to time, but I think you look exactly the same like you did back in 2008.
Hey, good old boy.
Yeah. So you're definitely doing good. Yeah.
That was the first time you come across and hunted Muntjac and Chinese.
Definitely, yeah. My first and only. So
yeah.
This is my second time.
Yeah. Now you've hunted a lot of different quarry, but you do love like predator hunting. That's your go-to.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, I've always been keen on foxes.
Yeah.
For some reason, I think I started hunting foxes when I was young.
Yeah.
And when you all hunting you do when you're young, it gives you quite big emotions, eh?
Yeah,
and it stuck with me. So I still love hunting foxes as much as I did when I was young, and also all kinds of predators.
Yeah.
And the last few years I've been really fascinated by the wolves.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're awesome animals and awesome predators, and they're difficult to hunt.
Yeah.
And the same with the foxes. So it's nice to hunt something that's a bit of a challenge.
Yeah. I think that's quite good, because today we're after Muntjac, and we're going to attempt to call them. Well, obviously we give your calls a whirl, which I've been using anyway.
Yeah.
And these guys are similar to foxes, I think.
Yeah.
Because they're clever.
Yeah.
They think, they try and go around you, try and wind you.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can call and they're just not interested, and sometimes you know, bingo.
Yeah.
So,
that's what's exciting about calling. You never know what's going to happen.
But just giving the guys just a bit of an insight. We'll get on the sticks, we'll do some calling, and with Muntjac, obviously the ideal scenario with any deer, you get them to a perfect broadside.
Yeah.
But with Muntjac, especially with the bucks, they're so clever. They come out, especially the older bucks. They come and they look.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to, if you need to, shoot them in the base of the neck, in the chest there.
Yeah.
And same as a fox, as you know.
Yeah.
But
if you're always gonna wait on the perfect broadside, I mean, it's not too much is gonna happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's also I also like to use, that you use your opportunity when it's there.
Yeah. And obviously we were out last night, and we struck a gold, another hat trick last night. Foxes.
We got 2 hat tricks yesterday.
Of course. Yeah,
that was a really, really good day.
Yeah.
Very fascinating and very different from what I have back home in Norway.
Yeah.
So we have harder winters, which are limiting the amount of game you can have.
Yeah.
So coming here more south in Europe to the game-rich areas, it's very nice.
It's like Christmas.
Yeah, it is like Christmas. Yeah, like the candy store.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. We like to say we had a hat trick yesterday on Chinese wolf deer, which was good in the morning.
Yeah.
Then we did some other bits and pieces, and in the evening we had a hat trick on foxes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Very nice to be in England and do double hat trick in one day.
Good start. Maybe maybe we do a hat trick this morning if we're lucky.
Yeah,
right.
We'll see if because it's from day to day, I guess.
Exactly.
with the calling.
Yeah.
Some days they respond like crazy, and other days it's dead.
Yeah. Right, let's go and test our skills.
Yeah. Beautiful day.
Find it's quite hard work today. I think the temperature's still so cold, and obviously animals are moving, but they're just not reacting.
I thought for a moment when we heard those pheasants, maybe something was moving, maybe a fox, maybe a Muntjac, but nothing has shown up so far.
Yeah. Do you find, obviously I'm trying to sort of do a different call? Do you, when you're doing a lot of fox calling, do you like try the whole range of calls?
I definitely like to have a variation of calls because they do get used to specific sounds. Yeah, for sure. So it's a good thing to do.
Yeah, even on the call itself. It's like start off with like more of a and then that's like a bit more and then you go right down to like a little fawn or just to try and get that attention and
for sure.
But it's been a bit tricky at the minute. What we do is we'll head down the bottom here. I find a lot of the time when I'm calling Muntjac, if you're getting really quietly and then you don't want to be calling them too far away.
No.
It's like you almost want them like 80 metres to 60 metres and they come out to 40 metres. They only do like a 10-20 metre walk in.
You need to get them out from the thick stuff.
Thick cover, Whereas you're trying to call them 100 metres away from a thick cover, they won't come out.
No,
not break cover.
Same with the roe deer. When I call,
you
have to get close enough, but not so close to scare them. Yeah. So I think that counts with everything actually. Yeah.
Right, let's go have another dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we've just seen, we're coming around this corner and we see a Muntjac hightailing at the top end, and we was having a discussion saying that because it's so still and crunchy on the ground, they hear us. They hear us.
Yeah.
And calling is so difficult. You've got to get in quiet and get to the position without anything being disturbed, and we ain't doing that at the moment, are we? We're rookies.
Yeah, we are, and their ears and eyes, they know we're coming.
They're winning in this game at the moment.
Yeah.
So what we do is we'll head up through. Frost is coming at the ground a little bit, so we'll head up through and we can get to, it's a real thick area here. We can get up through here nice and quietly and get set up. We have a chance, but it'll be a small chance, I think, just because that one was what, 100?
Yeah, at least. Yeah.
Going, so it's blame the cameraman.
Got him. Yeah. Man, that was exciting call. Finally. Yeah. So we've been
fantastic.
We've been trying and trying. I was almost at the point that I was thinking, no, this is not going to happen.
I told you, didn't I?
Yeah.
I told you, man.
Thank
I told you.
My very first Muntjac on the call.
On the call. What do you reckon? It's exciting as roe deer, isn't it?
Yeah, and so close. We're calling in normally much thicker stuff than I would do with the roebucks.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. All of a sudden, he's just here like 20 meters.
I know.
And then you can't do much movement without him seeing you.
But it's great because you obviously done a lot. So you moved when he's behind the bar.
Yeah. So we were a bit lucky. We were covered here, and I got a glimpse of him. So I could move when he was moving. And then he stopped for a while.
And he was tasting the air, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then little T's are beep beep.
Yeah.
Little peeps.
Yeah. And it made him come forward and present an excellent shot there. Yeah. So that was cool.
Brilliant.
Close range. And
I told you that. It's quite funny. We had the discussion down just before. We got to push in really quietly.
Yeah.
Find this is a perfect spot for it, isn't it?
Yeah. And beautiful animals. Beautiful actually to be able to see them like that in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Fantastic, something we don't have in Norway.
Of course, yeah.
So thanks a lot.
Pleasure,
Paul.
mate.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Well shot and brilliant.
Yeah.
We're going to have a look at him and then I'm going to grill you about your past and present.
Yeah. He's got his tusks and he's got his horns. Beautiful color on the skin and almost like the whitetail.
Yeah,
running
with the tail.
That's what you see when they're running. Yeah.
He good buck. He coming well, isn't he?
coming to the call, then I'd much rather have whatever animal than a big gold medal, because for me it's the thrill.
It's the hunt.
Of yeah, definitely.
So really cool with these actually. He come in like you say, but because they're so low.
Yeah.
They can see you, they sense you, everything.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was tasting. Tried to get the windlass, tasting the air.
Definitely, yeah.
But their eyes are brilliant, and there's a young buck.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you can see, he not only uses his antlers, but he uses here.
He's rubbing
here.
Yeah.
And isn't here, look.
Yeah.
That's his scent glands.
Scent gland, yeah.
I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah.
That's where he's been rubbing.
Yeah.
Through there into front top scent glands, and obviously then they got the ones behind below the eyes.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good. Great shot under pressure.
Yeah.
Good bit of calling, good perseverance that we were talking about.
Yeah, that's true. You have to keep going.
Yeah.
And what a morning to be out in the forest.
Yeah, birds singing.
We're lucky, Paul.
Very lucky.
Yeah.
Well, Kristoffer, you've had a very exciting trip so far. We went out yesterday morning. We had a hat trick on the Chinese water here. And then we had a bit of fun in the daytime with the shotgun. And then last night out for the foxes. And oh, sorry, I forgot. Shot a fantastic
medal
Chinese water deer buck
in the forest.
Yeah,
that was actually amazing too. Yeah, no. Yesterday, so much happened. You almost don't remember.
I know. Yeah, it was a fun day, and then in the evening went out and you're showing us your skills with the call, which is brilliant. And amazing to see the reaction of the foxes actually, because it's a different call than myself and Sam would use.
Yeah.
And it, the hair's picked up, and it really worked. Really worked well.
And I was going to ask you one thing when we're calling Muntjac, because obviously this is the first one I've ever done, so I have no experience, but. Do you find it, is there certain times of year that's better, or do you call them all year round?
Because they breed all year round, you can call them all year round. So you tend to find that buck this morning, he was coming thinking it was a doe.
Yeah.
And the other doe was getting pushed by another buck, or she was distressed or something.
Yeah.
So you can call them all year round, but it's weather dependent a lot of time.
People, since I produce and make game calls, people always ask me what call and this and that, and to be honest, I usually say it's more about timing than exactly what call you are using. You need to be in the right time, the right spot at the right time. And for example, with the roe deer, then you can just whistle it like with a grass, straw grass or something.
When they're in their peak, they're all charged up. Yeah.
So what's your experience with that? You're calling lots of Muntjac. Do you use like the specific sounds all the time, or?
I vary it. So days like today, it was quite hard calling.
Yeah.
I had to pull it out of the bag in the sense of I had to really think about where the animal was going to be and try and present a call that wasn't aggressive. Yeah. It was more enticing. It sounds quite silly to somebody saying that you're making this up. Yeah. But it really is. But it was like with you with the foxes last night. You're doing that louder call. Yeah. And then you get the attention. Yeah. Say, here I am. Yeah. And then you soften it and just manipulate it to how you get the reaction.
Yeah. So I also see that I've done this for many years. I definitely have changed my calling strategy during the years. You adapt and you learn and you develop. Yeah, definitely. So it's very interesting. But it's so cool. Calling animals in general, because then I feel you're a bit more interacting. You're kind of more of an active hunter. You're doing something instead of just sitting in a high seat. So for me, it makes it so much more exciting.
And it brings the excitement to the hunt, doesn't it? Because the pressure comes. Once they also realise that you're there, or it's not quite right. It's.
And I love getting the animals close, and we sure did today.
Yeah, that was good.
Close and personal.
That was really really good. Yeah.
So I have a motto, get the game closer. Yeah. That's kind of I really like that. So no, this is definitely something I'm gonna try again. That's for sure.
Brilliant job. Yeah. Well, you are the man of the Nordics. Living in a cabin in the middle of Norway, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. So how did your journey begin? Did you start off as a boy hunting?
Well, I grew up on a farm in Norway.
yeah.
My father, he had a farm, or my father and mother, where they grew barley and oat and wheat, and no animals, like no cows or anything. But so I had the freedom of growing up on a farm where you can run out the door and run around in the fields or in the woods.
Yeah.
But no one in my family was hunting, so it wasn't like a sure thing that I was going to become a hunter. But then when I was 11 years old, we moved to Africa, the whole family. Yeah, to Tanzania first. And you know, when you're 11 years old and you get to move to a place like that, everything is so exciting and everything gives you such strong impressions.
You went from the wild to the wild.
Yeah, that's very true. And that was like a dream adventure. That whole, you know, living there for almost a year in Tanzania, and we went on safari trips, and still no hunting. But then my dad got to know a couple of Norwegian men down there that did hunting, and he was invited, and that's kind of how it all started. And then we moved to Botswana a year later, and the first thing my dad did, he went to the gun store and he bought a shotgun and a rifle, and that's kind of how the hunting journey started, like many years ago. And you can imagine, if this is being in a candy store, you know, if you're a hunter, Africa is incredible, with all the animals and the nature and the wildlife. It's just like a dream, actually.
And it's true what they say, once you've been to Africa, it draws you back. So you went at a young age, and
I'm still coming back. I'm still coming back. And I started, you know, making videos and taking photographs, which I started doing in Africa. And you know, running around down there with a camera, you can capture a lot of cool stuff. So then I produced my first hunting movie together with a friend, and it was a great success. And then I was inspired and wanted to do more, and now I've done it for 25 years.
25 years. And obviously you got your own YouTube channel.
I have my YouTube channel. I have a subscription channel for hunting videos, and then I make these game calls. So that's basically what I do.
That's your business. Your core business is those three things.
And how long have you been doing your business? Did you grow up with a father doing the same?
He was a gamekeeper.
He was a
gamekeeper. So I grew up, you know, as soon as I could walk, I was out. Doing
so you've
the
had
job.
it with your since the very beginning.
But it's quite funny, that Muntjac this morning, loved it. Still had the excitement. You know, I've done a lot of clients, shot a lot of deer, shot a lot of Muntjac, but still that was exciting, and that's what I love.
I'm almost embarrassed to say it, but you've been doing this for so long. But yesterday evening, you know, when we were doing the foxes, I was actually the one who said, now we're gonna quit. You guys, you still wanted to go, eh?
We get the
that's what you call passion.
We do, and we just do. And same this morning, you know, I had to get up at just before 5. I was up. Let's go. But so I've done this, and then obviously then like dabbled in a bit of this like YouTube stuff and film stuff, and they've been good. So but your big thing is predator hunting.
Well, I definitely love hunting the predators. Well, I love all kinds of hunting, and maybe what I've done most in my life is hunting capercaillie with pointing dog. That was my absolute passion for 25 years. I've had a couple of Gordon setters, the pointing dogs, and it's very difficult hunting. You know, they are hunting the big capercaillie males. They are very clever. They don't want to end up in the pot. You know.
That's one of my favorite hunts, definitely. Far.
So that's kind of been the passion for maybe the longest. And then foxes I've always hunted. I've always had a fascination for the predators. It doesn't need to be like the big dangerous ones.
No.
I love the foxes, pine martens. Whatever, but and coyotes, wolves, all kinds of predators, and I'm lucky I have them around where I live, so I don't need to go shoot them, but it's good to
study them,
good to know that they are there.
And it's quite funny talking to you over the last couple of days. Just it is an interest. You've got your trail cameras up, and you speak to the guys that do the research and stuff, and give them the information.
For sure,
And it is an interest of sort of like how nature balances itself.
No, I'm very fascinated by predators. They definitely belong in nature. So even though I love hunting them, I also love them to be there. I think nature would be much poorer without predators. it's how it is. But then I grew up in Norway, which is quite wild still.
Yeah.
And we have all these predators, and yeah, I like the wild north, but I also really like this rural England where you have fields and farms, but it's very I like that a lot too.
Yeah.
So the variation is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I remember a time ago when I watched one of your films. You know what's coming, don't you?
Yeah, maybe.
Watched one of your films, and obviously you lived out wild.
Yeah.
And you know you're probably braver than I am, because I suffer with cold quite badly.
Yeah.
But you lived out wild, and you actually tried a lot of different meats and game meats, cooking wild in the site there in the Nordics. And so just talk me through what you obviously capercaillie is beautiful.
Capercaillie is a fantastic meat, like one of the best game meats. And we have wild reindeer, like the only country in Europe. Is also amazing meat. And all the sika deer and roe deer and red deer and all kinds. I love all kinds of wild meat. But then we have. Back in the old days, we had a great explorer in Norway. He's called Helge Ingstad. So he moved to Canada in the 30s and lived as a trapper, with the Inuit people or alone. And I remember a time where he was starving. So he was writing in his book about, in the really bad times he had to eat fox. It was nothing he would recommend, and I figured it can't be that bad, so I'll have to try it. So I didn't do it because of starvation. I pretty much just boiled back leg and a head of a fox in water. No spices, no nothing, because I wanted to actually have the taste. And it was terrible. No, I could actually feel the taste in my mouth for the whole following day.
Really?
So I actually there and then I decided I'm never going to do it again. But then a couple of years ago, then it was too long ago, so I kind of forgotten how bad it was. And I tried it again, and the same kind of recipe, just boiling it in water. And it was foul tasting. I mean, it was really bad. So then now I've decided I'm never ever going to eat fox again. Never. I mean, unless someone
have to,
unless I don't know what I'm eating, if you see what I mean.
So, but you've eaten a few other different bits and pieces, haven't you?
Badger, for example. It's that's actually really good meat.
That's legal to shoot in.
Legal to shoot in our country, and if you shoot them like not right in the village, but out in the countryside, they eat good stuff, and that meat is juicy and tender and really tasty, actually.
Really?
I've also eaten pine marten. And that was actually not too bad. It was actually closer to a game bird,
really?
Like the capercaillie, At some time of the year, they almost eat the same food, lots of blueberries and sweet stuff. And in general, we talked about Africa, the African antelopes. I mean, they've got amazing meat. Like absolutely fantastic.
But also you've got the big quarry of the mighty moose. And you like a bit of calling. We were talking about done a bit of calling and stuff. Is that your favourite way to hunt them, or do you like the dog?
No, we hunt them several ways. We have the moose dogs, the Norwegian moose dog and the Swedish Jämthound. So hunting them with those barking dogs is that's fantastic. And then we can call them. We can drive them.
Oh yeah, of
you
course.
put out hunters and someone is pushing an area. And you can stalk. You can track them on the snow, so there is a big variation. But calling them is also very fascinating. I mean, they're so huge when they come. And and also tasty meat.
Very good. Plenty of it.
It's a lot. When you have a muntjac on the ground like now, you grab it in your hand and you walk out. So if you shoot an adult moose, if it's a cow or a bull, then you have a lot of work. And most places in Norway, we're not allowed to drive with quad bikes or anything in the nature. Very strict rules. So some places you actually have to skin it and butcher it and backpack it out. And some places you're allowed to drive some machines on tracks that runs on tracks, so you're
not damaging
damaging and leaving great big tracks in the soft marshes and stuff. But yeah, no, very fascinating, the Nordic nature, and you know that the animals that survive there, they're tough.
Yeah.
Because that's the winters are really tough. So maybe that's one big thing I learned when living outside, like over a whole fall and winter, like I did.
Yeah.
And it was actually the coldest winter in Norway in 40 years.
Really?
When I stayed out. Yeah.
Wow.
So the good thing when you do that is it's dry. You
Right.
know, when it's cold, it's dry. So it's actually better with cold and dry than, you know,
Wet and
around
damp
around
yeah.
0 and wet,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
that's really bad.
Yeah.
So I much prefer cold and dry. And so what I learned is that I got great respect for the animals that survive that harsh environment. You
yeah.
know, they just are out there and trying to survive.
Yeah.
That's what they do. And when you stay out there and you feel the same, you know, you get great respect. Yeah.
Massive, but it's a massive experience. You know,
Yeah.
I hunted a lot of different places, and
Yeah.
I was lucky to stay in northern Sweden in a cabin.
Yeah.
And we were only there for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
But you become one with nature totally
Yeah,
because you
yeah.
have to think about it.
Yeah.
You know, not even going out for a wee in the middle of the night,
Yeah.
and you know you could fall over, and that'd
Yeah.
be the end of you.
Yeah. So you definitely don't want to be pissed drunk in a situation
No.
like that, for example.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you risk never getting back in.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. No.
No, it's you have to pay attention. You definitely.
yeah.
So that's also, and you know, that's the same for the animals living there.
Yeah.
They're tough animals. Yeah.
So you've hunted lots of different countries
Yeah.
and lots of different species.
Yeah.
What's been your highlights? I know that
Yeah.
every time's a different
Yeah, yeah.
experience.
Top 3 hunts is never easy, eh?
No.
But I have one. I'll say one. Maybe number 1 was when I got, you know, my first wolf, because wolves are they're very, you know, smart animals. They're hard to hunt. They're a big challenge. So it's never easy. You know, you most people, you struggle a long time to get a wolf, if you ever get one.
Yeah.
So being up north in Canada, in like the big wilderness, and being able to get the wolf in wintertime with the full, you know, fur coat that they have, and being smart animals and everything, that's definitely something I'll never forget. Yeah. And then also back home in Norway, I told you about my passion of hunting capercaillie with pointing dogs.
Yeah.
And I remember, you know, the first one and the second and the third, and that's also a big challenge. You know, any hunt you can do where you have to struggle, which is difficult and a big challenge, is something you remember more. So that's also like on the top list. Getting a big capercaillie male with a pointing dog, because they're also difficult. Yeah. And those are definitely top 2. And I've always said, if people ask me, even though maybe they're not impressive animals, but calling roebucks in the rut, that's one of my definite favorite hunts. And I said, if I just had to choose one hunt I'd do for the rest of my life, and nothing else, I think that calling roebucks in the rut is on the top of that list. Actually,
the excitement and the rush, and
you
never know. Is it on? Is it off?
Yeah, that's true. And very fascinating animals. And also, I'm very passionate about calling game. You know. So there is one thing still I haven't done, which is a dream of mine still, and that's calling a wolf. In the winter time, you know how much I love calling the foxes. But doing that with a wolf, in daytime, you know, that a wolf can come in the snow in daytime, and that's still a dream of mine. So maybe in the future.
Maybe that's one for the bucket list for the future.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And what about you, Paul?
I'm actually, one thing I do want to do is go to a Russia or a Canada and shoot a big moose. And it's not the size of the animal, it's just because it's just something I've always wanted to do since I was a small boy.
Well, I think it's also the size of the animal, but also the environment they live in.
So wild,
like
so
a
raw.
Raw wilderness and
I sort of would like to go to Kamchatka one day. I know we couldn't go there at the moment, but one day, because it's a little bit risky. It's so unknown.
It adds to the adventure, for sure, and the experience. No, I'm totally with you on that one.
So that's maybe
that's maybe a place we should go together.
That'd be good. That'd be good. Right, Kristoffer. One last thing before we go. Give me the list of been on the cuisine for your
My cuisine,
campfire.
Yeah. No, I haven't gone totally crazy like some people do with
Yeah.
all different like snakes and spiders and cockroaches. I'm not there, but
Yeah.
I've eaten some different birds. We talked about foxes, badgers,
Yeah.
pine marten, and if it comes to birds, you know, jay,
Yeah.
magpie, crow, raven, and seagull. I've eaten all of those.
And they're like.
They're not terrible. I
Yeah.
mean, if you cook them like in a stew or
Yeah.
or actually fry them in a pan, and you have butter and salt and pepper, they're actually pretty okay.
Yeah.
And especially young birds. I mean, seagulls, they can have like a fishy
Of course, yeah.
taste, like all the birds that eat
what they're
fish.
eating. Yeah. Yeah.
That's definitely so. That's probably my least favorite.
Yeah.
But those the crow family is not too bad actually.
Yeah.
But sometimes you think about they can eat some nasty stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a bit mentally also. I prefer the
The back straps and the capicola.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'll stick to the Chinese water back straps. That's my favourite, I think.
Yeah. I'm bringing some of that back to Norway.
Yeah, you'll enjoy that. It's
Yeah,
brilliant.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for informing us of your backstory.
Yeah.
And
Thank
hunting
you,
with
Paul.
us.
Thank you. It's been great.
It's been had some good times, haven't we? Yeah, it's been
Yeah.
brilliant. So anyway, I hope you liked the film today. It's been good. We've had some good excitement, and hope it's been a little bit informative about the calling. And we'll see you on the next one.